Hey everybody, this is CyberBlue88 coming at you with another episode of What Really Grinds My Gears. What really grinds my gears is when people refer to the Forbidden and Limit list as the ban list. It is not the ban list, people. Repeat after me. It is not the ban list. It is called the Forbidden and Limit list. Forbidden meaning you cannot have it in your deck at all unless you're going through the traditional format tournaments, and believe me, do you really want to go to a traditional format where you have possibilities going through Go Control, Yada Lock, Thousand Eyes Restrict Lock? Look at all these cards. Do you really want to go through that kind of tournament, put yourself through that kind of trouble if you don't know what you're really getting into? At least with the advanced format, you know what you're getting into. You got Dino Rabbit, you got Macro Rabbit, you have Agents, you have Mermail Atlanteans, you have Chaos Dragon, you have Frogs. I hate Frogs. You got Dark World, you have Inzectors, you have Windups. At least with that, you know what you're getting into. Oh, you also have the new Prophecy and Brotherhood of Fire Fist you got to tend with. Then we all know that the limit part is cards you're going to use one of, as in the piece of Exodia, Blackluster Soldier, Hornet, Dragonfly. Then you have the semi-limit, which is the card you could use two of. Known monsters being Lumina, Archlord Christia, Kalut, Rescue Rabbit, Summoner Monk, Tour Guide, Tragodia, Warning, Torrential. Then you also have what everyone else is, the rule of three. You can only run three. That means they're not limited, they're not semi, they're not forbidden. You can just run it. You can run up to three. No, that's it. Well, I was just kidding. My main rant is I personally really do hate the month before the real ban list comes up, because you get all these... Oh, sorry, not the ban list, the Forbidden and Limit list. You get all these decks, you get all these people start putting their 2 cents in. People, Konami doesn't care about our 2 cents. They really don't. I don't know why we do this every 6 months. Or actually, yeah, it's every 6 months. The month before the ban list comes out, we all want to say, oh, this is going to get hit, this is going to get limited, this is going to get banned, this is going to get semi-limited, this is going to come off the ban list. Honestly, has anyone ever really called the ban list perfectly? Some people have probably said, yeah, Dragonfly and Hornet was going to hit. That was a given. People said Rescue Rabbit was going to get hit. Yeah, that was a given. Rescue Rabbit is at 2, Tour Guide's at 2, Hornet and Dragonfly are at 1 apiece. Those were probably the easiest called because they were just too broken. Now, this month, people are saying Rabbit's going to get hit to 1. I agree. And I'm a Macro Rabbit player. Macro Rabbit probably might go to 1. It might not. People need to quit getting butthurt over it. But I'm also hearing people say that Dolka should be banned, Logia should be banned, or go to 1. I kind of agree with that. Because turn 1 Logia with the back row, that's kind of not fair, especially when you have to go against Macrocosmos and you're playing something like Atlanteans, or you're playing Dark Worlds or Chaos Dragons. You can't come back from that. You really can't. Or you can, but it's an uphill battle. It really is. Some people are even saying Mystical Space Typhoon should go to 1 or 2, because you got Heavy Storm and you got Dust Tornado, all these things that does the same thing. The fact is, MST is more of a... Mystical Space Typhoon helps out a lot more than the other ones could. Then going on to Mermail Atlanteans. People are saying Gen X Undyne should go to 1. I agree. Gen X Undyne, you have to stop the summon. You have to negate it. You have to negate the summon. Because if you just negate the effect, you still go off for the cost. And his cost is still, oh, I'm going to send a Dragoon to the graveyard, and I'm going to search for, let's say, I'm going to search for Abyss Megalo, or search for Infantry, or search for Diva. Next turn, it's going to hurt. It really is. Diva you got to negate the summon. You really do. Or you can just negate the effect, and you just have an easy 200 attack point monster you could just run over next turn. On your upcoming turn, that is. Honestly, you're gonna... I know I should just stay off YouTube and Just wait until the Forbidden Limit list comes out March 1st, because you're just going to see more and more of these prediction videos pop up, and it's really getting annoying. It really is, honestly, people. My main theory is, or my main concern is, I hate the toys. I really do. I didn't even pull Shark up. Crap. But anyways, Turn 1 Magician Shark's just retarded. That's more retarded than Turn 1 Undyne. Because at least you could almost come back from a Turn 1 Undyne. You can't really come back from a Turn 1 Magician Shark into a Shockmaster. You had to fight for that one. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about cards that, not archetype cards, but cards that could possibly splash in most decks. Main one I'm more going to talk about: Monster Reborn and BLS. BLS and Monster Reborn. Two of the most cards that, if you top deck, it's declared you pretty much win. Did people? I have a Black Luster Soldier. I don't use it. I'm thinking about selling it off. I'm thinking about just leaving it in my binder, but it's not agents. Anything that could just throw in dark tour guides into a light deck, you could run BLS. That's just a given. I personally think, yeah, BLS has been off the Forbidden Limit list for a year now. I think he needs to go back to the vault. Just treat it like a Disney movie and put it back into the vault. Monster Reborn, it's been off for a while now. Monster Reborn, you top deck Monster Reborn your opponent or your strongest monster and just go in for game. That's just not fair. I'm not gonna be the pot calling the kettle black, but I main Monster Reborn. Everyone should main Monster Reborn. Don't care if you run macro or not. Monster Reborn is a game clincher when it's played right. Another card I personally would like it to come off the ban list. It'll punish the turn player. It'll punish both players if they. Let me correct myself. It will punish both players regardless. Punishes the player that special summons and will punish the player that wants to pay the cost to negate the special summon. Everyone's saying that the only reason Konami banned Royal Oppression is because they wanted to give Xyz the jump starts. I believe that was a good idea. Xyz monsters have got the jump start they needed, and believe me, with Logia, Dolka, and what other, just name off some random Xyz monster. Number 17, Wind Up Zen Mains, number 39 Utopia, Levier. Xyz monsters got their start. They really did. Bring back Royal Oppression. That's the only card I will beg Konami for, and that's my prediction. Royal Oppression should come back. It balanced out the format. That's my personal opinion. If you guys think otherwise, just tell me down below. Let's talk about other decks here. I didn't pull them up because I really didn't want to go through the trouble of having my browser that far back. Let's talk about Dark Worlds. Grapha and Snow, people. Grapha, Snow, and Dragdown. Grapha, as long as he stays in the graveyard, that's retarded. Grapha should be down to 1, Snow 2, Dragdown either 1 or Forbidden. That's Forbidden. All Dragdown is a turn 1 trap dust shoot where you don't have to set it. You could just do it and look at your opponent's hand and guess what plays they have for next and just get rid of it and then draw a card. Whereas when your opponent discards one of your Dark Worlds, they go off. It's retarded. And if you have Grapha and Snow in your hand, that just sets up for a plethora of plays that's just ridiculous. Frogs. I hate frogs. I personally think Swamp Frog should go to 1. Treeborn go back to 1. That's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, and Ronin Toaded to 1. That's retarded, people. Next deck. Some people are saying Glad Beasts need to get their second bestiary. I used to play Gladiators. I believe, yeah, give back bestiary to 2. Give Glads a little more push, and with the